Well, good afternoon. Here we are again, number 410 on Tuesday. I think it's the 23rd of January 2024, but it's somewhere around that point, isn't it? Doesn't really matter. And what have I got today? Okay, I've got a blush tile and I've added a little bit of ink on it, a little bit of orange and yellow. So whatever ink you've got, or you don't even have to ink it if you don't want to. You can go straight ahead and just sort of do your own thing. But, okay. Where we're going to start, I think first things first, as I want to put myself a bit of a guide in, just a little bit of a hand. So I'm going to come in with my pencil and I want to put a little bit of a diagonal line. Again, very lightly because I don't really want to see this afterwards. I'm just going to very gently put that one in that way and that one in that way. Okay, you see, nice and gentle. Let's have a look at that then. Going a little bit bigger. It's a bit in the middle I'm interested in to start with. So let's have a look at this. And do I want to come in with pen to start with? No, I'm going to stick with pencil. And let's have a little look at this. Are we ready? Now I want to put a little oval shape in. And it's going to be kind of a similar sort of distance from the middle. So let me put one in here. I'm going to do it by eye for now. There's a little oval shape. Okay. And I'm going to turn it round and do another one here. So by turning it round, it hopefully, because my pencil's not really, my hand's not really moving so much, we're going to get something in a similar position. Now, if I wanted it exactly, I would have put a little box in and done it that way, but it doesn't really, it doesn't really make that much difference as long as it's sort of in a kind of similar space. Okay, let's have a look at that. Hello everybody. All right, so looking by eye, it's about similar. That's okay. Okay, happy with that? All right, so I think first things first, I'm going to come in and I want to sort of put myself a little shape in here. I'm going to start in the middle of that line there, you see, there. So I'll zoom in and you can see what I'm doing. Okay, so that's the top part of the tile. Hello Richard. Okay, so what I want to create is a bit of a curve, so it's going to sort of go, hang on, I've got a little bit of a point on, look. Yeah, a curve. All right, so I'm going to turn it round and do a curve. Turn it round and do a curve. And turn it round and do a curve. Okay, let's have a little look at that. Alright, so we've got something similar coming out of each one of those little shapes there. So now I'm happy with that. I could come in with pen and I'm going to draw that one in. And then come in this side of it, or I can start from the point, whichever's comfy. I'm going to put in that shape. So you see it's not going all the way to the end. You see? So let's do the same thing here. Look, I'm going to go up to the point and back down again. Not going all the way to the end. And again, up we go. Now if you prefer to go this way and up to the point, doesn't matter, as long as you've sort of got a similar shape kind of thing. All right. Okay. So whilst I've got this shape in my sort of vision, I might as well put one there. I'm going to create some little stripes on it. Slightly curved little lines going up there. And same again. See, I'm using that one just so I don't have to rub it out. It's not going to confuse the issue at all. Just going to put that in there. And around again. And putting these shapes in there. And again, into that one. That's that kind of thing going on. I'm going to bring my 05 pen in at this point because I'm going to create little stripes. So rather than use my 03, I might as well use a thicker nib and put those stripes in. And of course, you could do this in a different colour if you want to. Don't have to do it in black ink. In sort of puts it all, and gives it a little bit of space. They are a little bit, aren't they? Yeah, they're coming out of somewhere. And notice I've not really counted how many of these, but what I have done is I've started colouring each row in the same place, so each one has started with a black, and then I'm not so worried if they don't all match at the top there. It's this bit that you're going to notice, so that's the section we want to make sure we've got sorted. Okay, all right, and into that one. Let's have a little look at that. Okay, all right, so that's that bit. So back to my regular 3. Let's have a little look at this. What am I going to do? I want to put on the top, I want to extend it, and I'm going to bring out a little loop like that. Okay, let's do the same again, and a loop, and again a loop. It's not too small there, is it? We don't want a tiny little one. We want it to have a little bit of a size, because what I want to do then, and I'm going to come in again, and I'm going to sort of come from about part way in and create like a shape. Part way in, shape. Part way in, shape. That was a little bit small, but that's okay. And shape. Okay, so we've got a little bit of a fold over going on. Okay, so I want to look at this side now. Let's look at one at a time. So I'm going to come from, you see where this sort of, you got a nice shape there, sort of not right on the top, but about part way down. I want to come in, create that shape, and then I'm going to come back in at the bottom like that. Okay, I'm going to do that on all of them. Again, it's about that sort of repetitiveness. Always going back in, along, and down. Sort of odd shaped little worms now, aren't they? And down. So I've got all of those done. And then I'm going to do a second. And a third. Now I'm not quite to the edge there yet, so I'm going to go round and do these 2 first. So here we go, look, second and a third. So I can gauge sort of how wide these are going to be by how much distance I've got there. So it's just a little bit of space left. And back in, and back in, all right. And then the next one. So always back into that point, back into the point. Okay. So now it depends how much space you've got here. This one, look, it's going to sort of come to the line, and I'm good with that. I don't want to go past the line, but I can get a small one in, look, that bottom bit. So similar thing. Let's see if we can get them looking a bit similar. So I'm doing the same amount, but I'm not going beyond the line. Oh, hi Sue. Hope you. I say hope you're doing well. I hope you're getting a little bit better. I did worry about you the other day, I must admit. When I got your email, I was like, oh my goodness me. But, you know, keep going, don't we? The next one. Okay, so we've got this. Let's have a look at that. It's just sort of starting to grow quite nicely there. It's not looking too bad at all. Okay. What I would like to do now is I am going to come in with this shape here. Sort of what I can see that's left of it. And then I'm going to do another shape quite close but around it. Like that. And then from there, I'm going to fill in the sides. And again, I might as well bring my 05 in to do that, so we can give it a little bit of shadow in there. It looks like it's disappearing completely. So whether you want to draw all of these shapes first, you see I can put that line in there, and then come back in afterwards and fill it in with ink. So you can make a couple of amendments if you need to. That's it. That looks better, doesn't it? Doing those first. And then I can put that to one side. And then I can bring the 05 in. Thicken it up a little bit. There you are. Just filling that space with ink. Same with this one. Okay. It's light work of it, doesn't it, that? Not as too much work as using that 03 nib. There you go. That's that bit done. Okay, put the lid back on with that one. And back to my 03. Okay, let's go back into the middle then. And we've got sort of a little bit of a squarish shape. So what I'm going to do is use the lines to help me again. And I'm going to create a curve. And then turn it. And a curve. And turn it. You see? So using those lines to help me create that kind of a shape in the middle. Yeah, let's put some little bubbles on the tops there. If you can, if you've got the space to do so, we can do that. Okay. So let's have a look now what's going on this side. So we've already kind of got this shape going on. I want to create another one of these, but it's going to sort of come out over here a bit more. So out and in. So it's quite a large loop. Okay, let's do the same again, look. Out and in. Oh, turn it again. And out and in. And again. Oh. Out and in. All right, let's have a little look at that. Okay. So similar to the one we did before, I'm going to come in and create a little extra line there. A little extra line. So each one sort of following on from the other one. And then another one. Okay, so we're sort of starting to form some, it's got a bit of movement to it, hasn't it? Okay, so I'm going to do another one. So this time, let's have a look. A little bit smaller, but I'm still within that pencil guideline. Each time, bringing my shape back in. Now, I'm not worried too much if they're a little bit different, it's fine. But we're keeping that kind of thing with the tile moving all the time. And then, of course, back in. Just doing that one a bit better. And back in. You see, each one is going back into that sort of black hole. And then this one. Okay, a little look at that. Okay, liking that. So what I'll do is come up to this little shape here. Okay, let's just look at that. So to the left here. Okay, let's go back in there. Oh, here we go. Looks different when you really zoom in, doesn't it? So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to follow the line up, and I'm going to put a little curl on the end. And then same line, a bit smaller, same line, a bit smaller. All right, let's have a look at that zoomed out. Okay, so it's just on the end there. So let's look at this next one. It's coming from here. Now I'm going to turn it slightly to a bit of an angle so it's more suited to helping me create that shape I want. So there's one, and then a smaller one, and a smaller one. So I've got three going on there. And then here we go again. So up, another, and again I'm staying within that sort of shape. And then again, up, see 1 and 2 and 3. It's got a bit wonky, that's okay. Maybe I'll go and make all of those little bobbles just a little bit bigger. Okay, into those. Yeah, that's looking good so far. All right, so I want to put a little bit of a border around it, but slightly different. And again, I'm sort of imagining not right close up. It's going to sort of come in a little bit here, and what I want to do is put like a little wave in it. You see, so following it down. Okay, let's have a little look at that's going again. So turn it round, and again I've got those lines to help me so I know where the corner comes. So go with a wobble. Okay. And this one. So here you see I've got these little curls, you can put those in or you can keep it just as a wobbly line. So put one in there, look. Entirely up to you. Then same sort of thing. And along. It's going to sort of join in there. Okay. I mean, at this point, we can get rid of those construction lines if you need to. Just be careful though, if you're going to go over it, you want to make sure that your pen's dry. So certainly where I've got a lot of black ink, I'm not going to go anywhere near with a rubber until I'm 100% certain. Don't want to be smudging what I've drawn. Okay. Alright, see that's quite a... Oh, now this is why we only draw construction lines lightly, because if you can get away with it, you don't want to be drawing or rubbing anything out. Okay. So let's go back in. And now you see, so it's not all gone, but that's okay, as long as we've got a bit of it. So let's have a look at around this border. I'm going to put in a couple of plants. I've got one there, and let's put one here, and one here, and one here. And I'll show you what I'm going to put on the top of those. But let's do this one first. I've got space. So what I want to do is I'm going to come in with like a leaf shape. You see, part of the leaf. But when it gets to the bottom, I'm going to give it a curl. And then I'm going to come and join it. Okay, let's do that again. So, let's do it this way. As though I'm starting a leaf shape, but when I get to here, I'm going to continue it on, put a curl in, and then join it. So you can go either way. See if I go that way this time. Curve, join it. So, curve, round, and join it. Let's have another one there, round, and join it. See? So, I'm going to put a few of these around, and they don't all have to sort of face the same direction. You can put them wherever you like. Depends on how many you want. So let's have one. Look, curve. And let's have one going this way. Round, see, curl. And in. Oh, thank you, Louise. It's just something a little bit different, isn't it? And I think that's what we're wanting. We want something a little bit different. So it's nice to try a few of these things, isn't it? And see where it takes you. You know, and we draw a lot of leaves, don't we? And a lot of little flourishes and such like. So it's nice to play about a little bit with them. Do your own thing. That's why the tile swap's so good, isn't it? Because you've got a little bit of structure to get you going, but then you can go wherever you want to go with it. Okay. So I've got quite a few of these in. I want to sort of flick them around the place wherever we've got little bits of space. Certainly in these areas here. We've got that. Same in there, look. And then put one in there. So these work really nice as large pieces or smaller if you want them to be. can sort of mix them in and out. Let's have a little look at that. How many do we want to do? There we go. See, all sort of around the outer edge. I think that looks nice. I think what we haven't drawn in for quite a while is our little favourites. Can add some of those. Now, if you've never drawn one of these before, here we go. These are very addictive. You're going to love them. So let's put a little line in with a bubble on. Okay, let's go a bit bigger. And then I'm going to go around, around. And see, each time it gets a little bit smaller as you work your way along. So let's do another one. So here, just a little one there, look. Around. And keep it going until it gets smaller and smaller. And let's do one up here. Now you've got to be careful with these, they are very addictive and you'll end up with loads of them. You will, because you love drawing them. So keep it to one or two in a corner, you know. You can always go back and add them, taking away different matter. Okay, so I think centre wise it's just absolutely screaming out for a little bit of colour. So here we go, coloured pencils out. Now you could use watercolour pencils with this and I did show you how to use those the other week, but I think I'm going to sort of come in here and use my coloured pencils today. So I'm going to make sure that I've got nice sort of sharp points to them. Here we go. So I've got a bit of here we go, mid-orange, and let's go on in and put a little. See, I've got orange this side, more yellow that side. So I'm going to put my darker bit. Let's get rid of that pencil in there on this bottom right. So this is on classing. Oh, sharpen that bit too much. I do have a set here that I completely dropped on the car park floor at Hobby Maker, so one of mine is a little bit precarious, but that's okay, it's sharpened up again. All right, so you see, a little bit of orange in there. So I'm going to bring in, let's have a look, we've got some citrus yellow. And because I've got yellow on this side, I'm going to come in and fill that in with a bit of citrus yellow there. Now usually I'd leave a bit of a white highlights. I'm not worried about that too much today. I'll come back and do that in a minute. It's a slightly quicker way. We're not building up too many layers because it's quite small. So no backing with that mid-orange and just let's blend them two colours together there. All right, liking that. So let's come in with a slightly darker orange. So we've got a Clementine. And again, let's just give that a bit of a point if we can. Let's add a little bit of that to that edge. There you go. Okay. Mid-orange back in. Oh no. There we go. Just going to go over the top of that just to work that in a little bit. Job done. And then white pencil, it's going to come in and add a little bit up there. Okay, let's have a little look at that. So that gives us that centre point, doesn't it? Gives us something to sort of look at there. So back in with our regular pencil now. Here we are. And the first thing I want to do is, now this is quite thin, so the idea of putting it on both sides may be a little bit too much. So choose a side and add it just to the one side. Okay. And then I'm going to add a little bit to that edge and a little bit to that edge. Let's do all of those first. So down the side, a little bit to that edge, a little bit to that edge. And again, down the side. So, you know, you might have chosen the other side, you might choose left or right, it doesn't matter, as long as once you've decided you're going to do the same thing. See, down. So let's bring the Tortillon in at this point, and what I want to do is not take this all the way over the piece, just sort of half of it, and soften this out And this one a little bit. It's not going to need much. Okay, got a little bit of a coming out there. So, similar thing, along and then into there, and again. So you don't want to be completely filling your space. We're going to be doing little bits. And along we go, into there. Okay, so I'm going to bring my white chalk pencil in. And down this edge, I'm going to add some of that white chalk. Okay, you could use a white gel pen if you haven't. A regular white pencil won't quite do it, but you want something that's going to give it a little bit of dimension. Let's have a little look. You see? Okay, I think black pencil at this point, and where we've gone over and we've put the grey for now, I want to come back over the top and add some black in there. Okay, just on that one side. So it gives it a little bit more strength, so to speak, and it just takes that side up a little bit. Same there, look. Okay. So back to pencil. And there's numerous ways we can shape these. We normally do top and bottom. I think that's kind of nice, but you can also do each side and have the highlight on the edge if you want to. So decisions to be made, whether you want to go traditionally top and bottom or whether you want to go sides. Or what I am going to do though is I'm going to put a bit more pencil down this side than that side. So it's certainly got some at the top, but then it comes down, giving the impression a little bit that that is going underneath the other one. Okay. Same with this one. You see, sort of bring that down a little bit. Well, I've got to say, I've not had a text or anything from Dobby. It's been a few days now. He's living the life of luxury at the minute. Tommy's doing all his chores here at the office. So, I'm not quite sure when he's due back, but I can probably guarantee that Pauline will be glad to get rid of him. I don't know. It has been a bit quieter over here though, actually. A bit calm. Okay, you see? Almost. So let's bring the tortillon in and do that, and soften up round that bottom edge, and then bring in a little bit on the bottom. Oh, I know, Charlotte, but he's just so lovable. That's the thing. And yes, Vicky, it is. The office is running smoother. I don't know. Leslie's not mentioned though. He's not using my credit card, so he must be using Leslie's. I wouldn't dare use John's. Oh, I know, Lisa. It usually ends up talking about food, don't we? Honestly, but yeah, maybe that's it. You know? Maybe we need to think about. I think Dobby's got plenty to drink, hasn't he? Looks at that wine the other night. All right. See, always leaving a little gap in the middle if we can, giving us that little bit of a highlight. And along this bit, around here. So, you know, don't overdo it. You could always add a bit more pencil in if you need to. Or you can add a little bit of colour. It doesn't have to be all done in pencil. You can colour any bits that you like. All of it if you want to. Or you can just come monochrome with everything. This one. Okay. You see how that sort of wanders down. And it's nice to have that colour in the background as well, actually. A little bit of inking makes a difference. Oh, Maureen. I don't know half of what he gets up to. White chalk pencil. I can guess. Good. Maybe. He has been talking actually to one of his cousins of late. We might find that, I don't know, on the way round he might pick him up and bring him back with him. I don't know. To see. Depends where they stop off, doesn't it, on their cruise. So I'm going over where the little bit of a highlight is, at the space. And again, you don't have to do this. If you want to, you can use a rubber and completely remove some of the graphite or colour it that way. But it just gives it that little bit of a something, doesn't it? Adds a bit more. And again, let's just bring that black pencil back in. You see this bottom bit here? I'm going to go over top of it a little, just a little bit. Let's go in a bit so you can see that. So sort of work on the lines along the way. Just a little bit. You don't have to completely overdo it. I just want a little bit of darkness there, that's all. And the black pencil's going to give me a little bit more. Okay. So, could you imagine Rose, Pauline and Dobby? Oh, that'd be hilarious. Perhaps we should put that to her when she gets back. Okay, a little line here, look. A little bit there. Little line. I think he's running a ragged. It wouldn't be Pauline and Dobby, it'd be Dobby and Pauline. Oh dear. Okay. See a little line and a line underneath. Little line and a line underneath. Okay, last one. This is straightforward, isn't it? Line underneath. Next one. I know Vicky always comes up smelling of roses though, doesn't he? Soften and soften. Okay. Yes, it just sort of swirls if you need to. But again, we're not trying to fill the whole space up. Just trying to do little bits. Little bits. And along. Okay. One more. Oh dear. And this one. Along and into that one. Okay, let's have a little look at that. Alright, so back in regular pencil, and I'm going to go on the inside of my border. I'm going to be quite heavy there. Follow it round, even though you've got like a bit of a wobbly edge, that's fine. Keep it going. Oh, Maureen's got a suit. She's got a three-piece suit. Yeah. He's got more clothes than I have. All right, okay. So back in, swirls this time. We want to soften it off, but we want to control how far it's going. So we don't want to go a little bit too crazy with it and moving the tortillon too much. It's all about keeping it close to that edge. Following it round. See, round my loop. I'm not bothered about colouring in those little leaf shapes. I think they're fine. So we can go over the top of those if you need to. It's not a problem. And along we go. And next bit. Sort of keep it going. Okay. So one more thing really is because we've got this sort of gem-ish in the middle, it needs a little bit of shading around the edge just to make your eye go to it a little bit more. And then around we go. sort of following it on, keeping it going. See, swirls again. All right, I think it's going to ease off the graphite going up around the edges there. I think one more thing, I'm going to do white gel pen, but you could do this with a colour if you like, because I want to come into those little areas there, you see. So careful with your gel pen, you know, sometimes they can be a little bit hit and miss, but in you go. And I want to bring those out just a little bit. Now if I've got to go back in with a bit of black pen afterwards and go back over the lines, not a problem. Well, you can come in where the black is. It's just going to neaten that edge up a little bit. Oh, sorry. And just give it, you see there, look, it's got a little bit of a gap missing there. So come on in and put it back in place. Okay. And let's have a little look at that. Okay, so sometimes, yeah, it's great to put shading on lots of things, but they're sort of in the background. We don't really want to worry about them too much. That does need a little bit more softening off. You see, if you've got to do that, then have a look at it, see what you think. I'm going to trail mine up there a little bit. There you go. And it depends, it doesn't matter which way you do it, actually. It's kind of nice, isn't it? It's nice to have that colour working along. So, all right, last thing to do, bit of a signature. Oh, Carol, I don't know, they're an odd one, aren't they? I do have 5s here, but I tend to use the 8s more, and I always want to make sure I get it going first. So I always do make sure that, you know, I'm getting it working. Once you've got one going, it's brilliant, but you've, I think sometimes the edge, you've got to clean it off because it sort of dries on the end. But yeah, you get good ones and you get not so good ones of those. So good luck with that. But okay, here we are then, our number 410, all done and sorted for today. So, all right, enjoy, post it, let me see what you've done with it. And of course, stay safe, take care, and stay warm. It's a bit chilly today again, isn't it? A bit warmer, I suppose, but still chilly. And all right, I will catch you all soon. All right, take care, everybody. Bye.